Hey, this is Troy Baker, voice of Snowvilliers in Final Fantasy XIII. I gotta go slay some chocobos, but right now you're listening to the Beyond Podcast. Beyond!
Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 129 here on IGN.com. I'm Greg Miller, alongside Ryan Clements in his sexy new glasses.
Hello, thank you very much. I do like them a lot.
Smiling Sam Bishop.
Hello.
And Guides Guru, Colin Moriarty.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Nothing.
Guides Guru.
Before we go anywhere with this show, let's talk about it straight off the bat. I'm sure if you're a dialed-in IGN fan, you know something has happened. If you're just the occasional Podcast Beyond listener, right now you're asking yourself, Greg Miller, where the hell is Chris Roper? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have bad news. On Tuesday, IGN Entertainment as a whole, IGN everything, movies, database, anything you can imagine, had a layoff period, and we lost a lot of good people. And unfortunately, Chris Roper was one of them. Chris worked with us for 7.5 years at IGN.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Reviewed games recently like Heavy Rain, Little Big Planet, God of War 3. Before that, I mean, in that career, he did Shadow of the Colossus. He did God Hand, which was not... Which
Quite
is
possibly the most
God
infamous
Hand.
review in
Everybody's
the
got
past
one,
decade
and that
or so.
was definitely Chris Roper's one. So
Even
he's gone.
spoken by Shinji Mikami-san himself during an international press conference. Asked if there's anyone from IGN here. I raised my hand, and he's like, thanks for the God Hand review.
That is the kind of shadow
It was not me.
a career like Chris Roper's will have. We miss him terribly. We wish him the best on his future endeavors. He has a beautiful wife and daughter. He's going to be fine. Don't worry. We've all talked to him. He did, however, last night give me a statement he wanted me to read on the air. So if you give me a second. Beyond.
Beyond.
And with that, let's get to the Roper Report.
Commemorate Roper Report.
Well, interesting thing, too. Obviously, Podcast Beyond, this is your show, listeners. We love you very much. There's been not a line in the sand, but there's been debate over, do we call it the Roper Report? I always thought, yeah, why not? Call it forever. Clements raised a good point, though, that every week we bring in new fans. One day, maybe, they're not going to understand what the Roper Report is.
Right.
I mean,
Just in time, they might not get the reference.
So what we want you to do is obviously email us at beyond@ign.com or go on to email us. That'll be the best one. Email us at beyond@ign.com and let us know. We'll try to get a vote. We'll get a general consensus. Do we want – because your choices are as follows. We do the Roper Report for the rest of Podcast Beyond's life. It's, the
For
thing
the
that we
next, at
do.
least
None of us
3
are here
weeks
one day. Or we're moving to new offices next week. We give that new office, we give the Roper Report for maybe – another month, and then we raise to the rafters a little Roper Report jersey. So we need
the Alan Parsons Project, please.
And what you want. Yeah. Okay, let's get to it. We've been off a long time. Last week was GDC. A lot of people were where we were. A lot of news has happened since then. We tried to podcast last week. We were recording.
Desperate.
It's trapped on my iPhone. I can't get it off because I use the stupid iPhone memos and not the iTalk. Anyways, up first here. There's more PS3s coming. Everybody calm down.
Okay.
Everybody know God of War 3 came out. It's a big deal. Everybody wants this thing. There were no PS3s. Kevin Butler, he's getting them out. It's happening.
He is the man.
Thank you, Kevin Butler. I have a shirt that has Kevin Butler's name on it now. Thanks to the PlayStation.
That's seriously the
launch.
greatest character that Sony's ever come up with.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to more of him later, though.
Yeah.
Kane and Lynch has a date. Kane and Lynch 2, obviously. August 24th. Colin, how do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I don't care. I didn't play the
I
first
like
one.
the first one. The first one had a really good story. Gameplay, okay, whatever. But yeah. Also, interesting. They're
We don't talk
blurring
about
out.
the game.
They're blurring out headshots in this one.
What?
Interesting. They're trying to go for this rocking realistic.
That's-
it's like on the local news.
It's
kind of thing.
like a guerrilla
police
cam
chase.
sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
That's
They also
interesting.
blurred out some crotch last night in the trailer. I wasn't happy about that. Ryan, big news for you.
I'm ready.
Final Fantasy XIII has airships.
You have to clarify that because that doesn't make sense.
You clarify it then.
All right. So Final Fantasy XIII has airships, but the news is that Final Fantasy Versus 13 has airships. By the way, Final Fantasy 13 only has airships in the story sense because there are airships in the game. You do not fly an airship around on a world map.
Nope.
But in Final Fantasy Versus 13, our Japanese correspondent read a article that or rather, I think it was in a Twitter interview or
He
something.
read some tweets.
Something
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But there was some Japanese tweets going on. Tweeting is happening all around the world.
Yeah.
And
knows no geographic
people think that it's possible that a more traditional Final Fantasy world map is actually going to happen in Versus 13, which is a sort of spin-off, spiritual sister of the game that we just got.
Okay.
So,
Did you catch the other part of the news, though, in that story? Buried in it. I had to pull it out for the PSP version. there's a chance. It's possible. Probably likely.
Dissidia sequel?
Yeah.
I will flip out. I will actually go around and just
How many hours have you put into Dissidia right now?
I actually just checked the other night, and I'm approaching 90.
Wow.
And about more than half of that was on my own time after the review was over.
See, I was hoping to beat you with Patapon 2 to 100 hours. But
I think you might. I mean,
no, I'm like 70 now. I've slacked off.
Well, I mean, when I say approaching 90, 65. I'm still on like 83, so I still have
I round up too. I round up. That's the problem.
But if that actually happens, I will go around and make out with everyone in the office.
I will not be in the office that day.
Fair enough.
Hey, you know what that is? I don't want to make out with you. You're right.
I'm going to be honest. I don't want that to happen.
All right, May 11th, Skate 3 comes out. May 25th, Mod Nation Racers. On the PS3 and the PSP. Both looking very sharp.
Oh, is it day-to-day for the two versions?
Yeah.
Very
cool.
nice.
Which is crazy because they've done very little chatter on the PSP version.
I know. It just popped up at GDC. Did you play it?
Yeah. No, I didn't get a chance to play it. I looked at it, but that was about it.
I was floored. It was like the loads are way better than the PS3 version right now.
Dude, I don't understand. So did you get? They actually had new revs for everybody at GDC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Still bad.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like,
They were
some
blaming the burn or whatever. I mean, once you get in and you're creating and you're playing, it's awesome.
Yeah. Once you
getting there
drill down into a certain mode, whatever it be, if you restart a race, it's instant. But yeah, there's a little tweaking needs to go on there because it's a little rough.
Yeah. PSP, I mean, has all that stuff and it works really, really well. I was surprised. Yeah. Not surprised, but it ran.
No.
Well, for PSP, a UMD level.
I hear the PS3 version comes with a real go-kart.
That's not true.
Okay.
Hey, Colin, good news for you.
Yeah?
We got a new Spider-Man game coming out.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's called
The best visual expression ever.
It's called Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. They're still thinking it'll be in 2010. This is we knew there was a 2010 Spider-Man coming out. All we know now is that there's a title. Spider-Man.
What was the game where the teaser had Spider-Man and like the entire city was covered in darkness?
Yeah,
was that the
Web of
old
Shadows?
one? That was Web of Shadows. How was that game?
No, thank you. No, they didn't do things right.
Okay.
We have a rumor, Ryan. This will make you cry. Insomniac might be going multi-platform.
I heard about that.
This was overheard by Matt Casamassina at GDC. So
that's it's troubling.
No, I mean it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
financially, you want to make
exactly,
money.
exactly. And and their games they've been really solid. They haven't sold as well as they deserve to, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Colin, will you be excited to play Resistance 3 on a 360?
Well,
I know everybody.
Yeah, Resistance I really love. So and that's gonna be on PS3. I don't care what else they do. Like if they want to do a multi-platform, that's totally cool.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. I would be curious to see what they would do with a multi-platform game because I'm assuming. They could never. I mean, could they ever do a one of their Sony titles? I mean, they just can't, right? Legally, they would never be able to port it over.
Sony owns the IP,
but yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm just wondering if there's a contract. There's like a time period where they have the rights to their own stuff after that, or I don't know.
I would say it's about as likely as Halo on the PS3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
You know what's not like?
And it's coming tomorrow.
No new instruments for Rock Band, Green Day Rock Band. How about that, huh?
Yeah,
I wanted a tambourine, man.
So now
it's
just a very expensive track pack, which is a little offensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They're charging full price. Just
Yeah.
So you can
play. You can get a deluxe edition that'll have all the DLC that's already out.
Now, let me ask you this.
Interesting.
For all the Green Day DLC.
Green Day from, let's say, Kerplunk 1992 to Nimrod 1997. That's good stuff.
Yep.
Now, everything after that, you know? So,
see, I lost interest after Dookie, really.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually think Nimrod's their best album.
Really?
It is really good.
Which is 2 albums after Dookie.
But the Dookie album had dogs throwing poop on it.
Yes, it did. Those first 4 albums are awesome, and I just I haven't looked at the track. Have they released what all the songs that are going to be?
I don't think they're all out.
I don't.
I'm not sure.
I just wonder what the balance is, because if I have to play like that American Idiot stuff and like whatever that new album is called, 21st Century Breakdown, I'm gonna lose my mind. What's up?
I'm the only one, and I walk alone.
Yeah, if it's all the original old stuff, if they have like 80 on there and a bunch of like old Kerplunk stuff, it's awesome because
really
there are
cool.
a couple songs that are on that on Kerplunk that ended up becoming other songs on Dookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 80 became Basket Case, I believe, and there's
Welcome to Paradise was one.
Welcome to Paradise is a lot rougher. It's actually a lot more fun to. I just like it.
Yeah.
So
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
And all of
chances are it'll be all their hit stuff that you don't like. All
that
the
is very
pop
very
music they
likely.
put out there in the end.
Yep.
Warning.
Oh, well, that was a good one. That had a message. This is a warning. Live without warning.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Monster Hunter Freedom 3 for the PSP has been confirmed in Japan.
Oh no!
No news here. They've already played it in Japan. Not the regular people, but
Right.
our correspondent.
The regular.
And then
Not those
The
normals.
plebeians.
the news that gets me all juiced up, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, June 8th.
Yes.
Also coming with a little bundle that's
right.
Spirited Green PS3 3000.
I don't know how I feel about that name for
No, that is a very
system.
interesting
Spirited Green.
Spirited Green,
It'll have
what?
some Fox logos
Sounds like
on there.
Sounds like a dental floss or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, right.
Or like the flavor of a mouthwash.
Yeah, Spirited Green.
If you can't get
True.
enough Metal Gear, we have a new Metal Gear Peace Walker trailer on IGN PSP right now.
I am slowly getting
IGN
more and more excited for that game.
PSP.IGN.com, but I in the middle of it,
IGN.PSP.
in the middle of it, I was like IGN PSP, and then I was like, oh, now I want to put a .com there, and that doesn't make any sense. But I tried. Just go to IGN.com, right? Everybody, you'll find the freaking trailer. Jeez. All right, that's the Roper Report. Hey Ryan, what's Zombie Blog next say?
I couldn't. I'm sorry, I
zombies
couldn't
were
get
out
them
eating
on
brains,
the.
right,
Yeah.
right.
They're
And-
out and eating brains.
Patchwork Heroes, I know,
Delicious brains.
coming out tonight. Today.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Got the Patchwork Heroes. Maybe a theme. Why not?
The game that you reviewed recently that you really liked, the mini.
Yeah.
Age
of Zombies.
of Zombies.
Yeah.
When did that already come out?
That was old. Yeah, that
That's
had
two
slipped
weeks
through
ago.
the cracks. Not like old, but it was
Yeah.
a week at least. Yeah, a couple
Okay.
weeks,
2
yeah,
weeks?
yeah.
Yeah, probably
on the
they're
ninth
on the
of-
GDC
By the way, yeah,
craziness.
there you go. The best mini you can get right now, Age of Zombies.
Yeah.
Half brick, $4.99. Half brick.
That did come out a little odd.
I'm pretty sure you said brick, but
I know. I
doesn't matter. It
I got
doesn't-
tripped up.
even if you said it.
I'm gonna drink some
It
water.
could mean you very lightly nicked yourself in the finger.
oh yeah. All right, good. I don't have to bleep it out.
Half brick.
No.
Go get it. Age of Zombies. I
Yeah,
gave it a
actually,
9.
those guys are really
Crazy.
good guys, and I don't know if they listen to the podcast or not, but I was supposed to meet up with Phil from
Yeah,
Half Brick.
yeah, Phil
Very
Larson, yeah.
nice guy. And during GDC, during the rush and stuff, I never got a chance to get over there and
jerk.
see him. I am a
You
total
know, he
jerk.
wrote Age of Zombies.
What's that?
He
Did
wrote Age of Zombies, his whole story and
Yeah.
the dialogue and everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
really?
game's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
rad.
excellent.
Well, Half Brick's not a big company. They're pretty small.
No, yeah, they're Australian. They're very small. Working on that Xbox Rascals game.
That's right.
And then
That's right.
they've put out this one. They put out a couple other minis. Blast Off, which I was a big fan
Yep.
of. Rocket Racing's out now too. I don't know. That one I'm not sold on, but otherwise, yeah, good stuff.
Echoes.
Echoes, yes,
is also very good.
Echoes is a good.
So,
one.
And we weren't able to do the podcast last week, so I just want to interject here that Mega Man 10 came out last week. So
Yes, there you go.
if I gave it an 8.5, it's wonderful. I said in the review it's better than 90% of the games you're ever going to play, and it's true. So
Well, I mean, Colin, it's been so hectic lately.
I know.
mean, I don't know where to turn. I don't know what's happening. You know, if I needed to know about games, where would I look?
Well, you'd go to the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
yeah.
Sorry, was that a little too much?
That was good. That was good.
I was just
You got the
intense.
energy. We got
Let
the
me
beyond
lower
energy.
my let me lower my levels a little bit. Here.
What's out in stores this week, Colin?
So I went to the GameStop.com, and I looked and
The
I couldn't,
GameStop.
and I couldn't
The
find
GameStop.com.
anything for PSP or PS2. So I assume that means that nothing is coming out for PSP or PS2 this week.
Downloads, you'd have the Patchwork Heroes.
Yes. There are some
Maybe
PSN.
get some downloadables and what have you.
DLs.
But if you are going into a store and you want to hold that physical,
Yeah, if you want that box in your hand.
too damn bad, Skippy.
Yeah, you're gonna be out of luck. But for PS3, there's 3 good games maybe coming out.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know about maybe one of them's not good. I don't know.
No.
God of War 3,
Yep.
Oh, I've heard of this one.
I don't know.
Residence of Fate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Dragon Age Origins Awakening is coming out this week finally.
I'm actually very excited about Residence of Fate. I need to,
Really?
I need to get on it. Well, I try Ace Games. They are very fond of their Japanese-ness, obviously Star Ocean, stuff like that. But Residence of Fate has a very, very cool battle system, and it's I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like
It's gun based.
it is.
So
It's
many
all
guns.
gun based. It's all
Like
John
Wild
Woo,
Arms.
like Gun Valley style stuff.
Yeah,
But it's kind of like Valkyria Chronicles, where you move and you attack, and it's all 1 meter, which is kind of hard to
okay.
but it's awesome.
Colin, that was for you, buddy. By the way.
Oh, for me?
I perfectly recreated one of the Wild Arms theme songs, and you didn't even care. You didn't even care.
I didn't know you were doing it for me. You didn't say, Colin, this is for you, and then you did it. And you
Well, I mean, who else? Why else would I sing a Wild Arms theme song?
just maybe because I mentioned it, and so you wanted to sing some Wild Arms songs.
I was singing.
I'm not clairvoyant. so that's all we have this week for
All
the,
right, then.
for
So
the
time
list.
we
for
do a little pick of the week?
Pick of the week.
Pick of the week!
Jeez, I haven't had a good pick of the week in a while. That was a good one.
All right. Sorry, I scared Colin half to death.
You gotta go with God of War 3, right?
Yep.
I mean, it seems like the obvious choice because it is the obvious choice. It's very good. This is the first God of War 3 Or the first God of War 3. It was the first God of War that I was able to beat the whole way through without getting incredibly bored.
It is
pissed off at Kratos and
yes,
tossing it away.
The pacing and the difficulty in that game is miles better than the previous two, and the gameplay too.
Yeah.
I didn't think the story was wrapped up as well.
Yeah, the
really,
story doesn't wrap up that well, though.
Is it really worth me to play the other two before I play 3?
I don't think so. I watched God of War in 5 minutes and you're set.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like a lot of the story exposition, which is the best part of the games, I think, is all there.
Well, you and I were similar. Like, I mean, we played the other two. We got hours into them, but then
I got hours into the first one.
Oh,
I never
really?
even
Okay,
touched the
okay.
second one because I completely lost interest with the first one.
Yeah, I haven't played the second one except for like the first
Wow,
hour.
you know, second one's good. You should definitely. I mean, it's
Kratos does
better.
nothing
I'm
to
really
you,
not.
man.
I'm just not intrigued by God of War. Like I will play. I'm gonna play 2 obviously before.
What
3,
I
but
like,
it's just like
what
whatever. I don't
stood
know.
out to me about 3 not being a fan of the main character at all was the scope. Like what they're doing with the PS3, the visuals, like, and not even like the graphics look good. I mean the way that you are climbing up these giant things and wrapping around. Like I won't spoil it, but there's a big old battle in a fiery pit with a dude.
A big old battle.
Yeah.
And
It's okay. It's okay. It's
It was
happened
so much
in
fun.
both of the other games. So.
I know. Oh,
yeah.
the Kronos battle?
No.
That's what I was saying. There you go.
Oh.
Now it's getting spoiled, Sam.
No, there have been many a video that was out
Alright,
weeks
good.
before it came out, so people actually know what's going on there. There's
The
it's
Kronos
awesome.
battle I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was so much
Yeah.
fun. It was awesome to climb with this giant guy. I mean, his fingernails as big as like a room. You're like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was after review Alice in Wonderland for Wii, which you may see today if you actually are interested. It's actually not as bad as you would think.
Yeah.
But I was playing that on the standard definition TV in the living room.
Yeah.
On the Wii, and in the other room, my roommate was playing God of War 3, and every once in a while I kind of pop in there, and she was, she's having a good old time. And that game, you don't ever lose the sort of sense of amazement at how good it looks.
Yeah.
Even by the end of the game, it's still phenomenally gorgeous. And if you can watch it, it's a lot like Uncharted. If you can watch somebody else play it, you can really appreciate a lot of the stuff that they put into it. While you're playing it, you're sort of focused right in the middle of the screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so.
That's why I always appreciate a game that will give you a moment to take it all in.
Like Final Fantasy XIII?
Like Final Fantasy XIII.
Good Lord.
Uncharted actually does a lot of moments where you're just walking through the environment and they let you take it all in. I appreciate stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy that loves that right analog stick. Just sit down and then let it spin it around.
What's
That's
happening
actually
around me?
not to retread FF13, although
We haven't really
talked about it, I guess.
that.
That's right.
That came out. You
Yeah,
know,
we did. Well, how much did you guys even really talk about it in the show where I was doing the review and you guys came in?
Well, no, I mean,
It was the last show,
we
right?
couldn't.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago, so it hadn't come out yet.
All right.
And
So
we
worthy
can-
pick
We
of the
could
week. I mean,
discuss that.
it wouldn't beat God of War in pick of the week, but that week it would have won.
It's close.
No, like that one.
I would. Well, first of all, I would absolutely choose 13 over God of War, by the way. Just for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's going to be for everybody.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about it. Why did you love it so much? Why'd you 8-9 it?
Why did I 8-9 it? Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I'd like to remind our listeners that 8-9 is a great score.
awesome
It got
score.
an editor's choice, and it was
I mean,
very.
it's no Age of Zombies, but
Yeah, well, it's the reason that I was hard on it is one of the reasons is because I recognize the fact that it is so far removed from traditional Final Fantasy games, which is I think what a lot of Final Fantasy gamers kind of want when they're coming back to their series. Mainly just you can't argue. Now, this was not a problem for me, but you cannot argue that game is almost on rails for 25 hours.
Absolutely. Yeah, it took me 30 before I got to Pulse.
Yeah, 25 to
But
30.
Holy crap!
Yes.
Once I finally did.
But I mean that will certainly kill it for a lot of people, I think, and it was fine for me because it is essentially a giant avenue for you to experience the story and for you to experience a really cool battle system.
Yeah, it's a narrative decision, and it's something because the battle system actually ends up being so ridiculously deep that I could totally see it overwhelming people.
Oh, absolutely.
When you finally get to Pulse, which it was like 30 hours for me.
Yeah.
And I just sat there for like the first
Is that
2 or
like
3
a
minutes
minor?
looking around.
I mean, I know that's not really a spoiler,
What's
but.
that? No,
Don't talk about it too much.
The very first trailer that came out.
Yeah,
had
I guess
them running
everybody
around
knew.
on-
See, that's actually one of the things that irked me a little bit is that I would have loved if that was a surprise.
That is true, yeah.
If you actually didn't know that you were going to go there.
But I got that same sense that I got in. I know you don't like Final Fantasy VII, right?
7?
Yeah.
Are you
Oh, no,
insane?
you do. Okay.
Have we not been
I can't remember
friends
if
for the
you-
longest time? This guy.
I can't remember if it was 7 or 8 that you.
Did you? So you didn't like your favorite game of all time, right?
All
Oh,
right,
that's
well,
right.
That feeling that you got when you finally climb out of Midgar.
Yes.
And it's like I don't know.
Midgar?
10 hours, yeah, Midgar.
Yes.
And
Midgar is
and the
fine,
world
but-
just sort of open up to you.
Yes.
That I have not gotten that in another game since that
Then.
game. And like when I finally saw Pulse, and it was just you're sitting sort of in this chasm. I'm not spoiling anything. And there's like this sunlight kind of pouring in. It's all milky and cool looking. And if you sit there long enough, you'll actually see things fly over.
Yep.
And they like block out the sun, so they actually shoot down like shadow rays.
Yeah.
And they're up there. They're just kind of playing. I just sat there and just drank all that in, and it's amazing. And then you walk out, and then you see the planes that you've seen in all the trailers and stuff, and it just goes. You pull up the map to see where you're supposed to go, and you just start scrolling, and you don't stop scrolling for like a good, 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And the game had been previously on rails for so long that you almost always would pull up the map and see where the little dot was that you needed to go to, and it was right
it wasn't
there.
even
You were walking to it in like 30 seconds.
That was the cutscenes that they do in that section blew my mind.
Yep.
Like, I don't think I have seen an environmental establishment shot like that.
Yep.
Forever.
Yep.
I mean, it was
no.
awesome.
I genuinely think it's the prettiest game ever.
Basically going back to your original question, why I like this game, the battle system's awesome. I actually really do love the characters in this game.
Yeah.
And I think their production value and the localization they did is just off the wall. It's fantastic. And you know what? After having beaten it, I was very satisfied with the story.
I still haven't finished it yet. I'm at the point now where the game difficulty spikes. So
that was painful.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Ryan's
that's
screaming
exactly
in
it.
the
I have so much stuff going on.
I will.
Were you?
Well, I will never forget wanting to go so badly to the Final Fantasy launch party and doing the review in the last minute on ridiculous deadline, trying to fight the final boss.
It's fun.
I've heard
Texting Greg.
It was
while
a
I
Greek
doing
tragedy,
it,
ladies and gentlemen. Imagine your favorite game series of all time is coming out with its next giant iteration, and you, for the first time ever, are in the place to play it and review it and be the voice for this game.
Yes.
And
Early.
it's like it's a dream come freaking true. It's everything you've always wanted. But the game gets so hard at the end, and the PlayStation Network implodes for 24 hours. So you can't even play the game to get it on time for the review.
Did it lock you out?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I got locked out for a day.
By the time you get to the point where you're ready to, you're trying to beat it.
Yep.
You're almost ready to review it. It runs straight into the greatest party you'd ever want to go to, the Final Fantasy XIII launch event party.
In San Francisco,
can't go. It's in San Francisco for amazingly, and you can't go because you're working on the game that you are trying to get to the party for.
It really was a great tragedy.
They were the most depressing text messages I have ever received in my life from Ryan Clements. It's just like, hey, please meet them and get assigned and do it and get anything you can. Like, I'm up to these people, and everyone knows I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. I appreciate the series. I'll play it once in a while. But, I'm talking to them, and I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm like, I got nothing. We have an interview. We might as well splice it in right after this little bit.
Well, I'm curious to know, how did you approach the two voice actors? Beyond listeners, there were the two main characters, Lightning and Snow. Their voice actors were at the party, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to go so badly, because just beating the game, that was so cool. To them, I can go meet those people? Anyway, how did you approach them when you were, getting there?
Snow is Troy, right?
Troy.
Yeah, okay.
Troy Baker, I believe?
Yeah. They had already been introduced, and then I went over there. They were taking photos of people. I'm like, hey, everybody, I'm from IGN. And his face lit up. He knew. He's a gamer. He knew what IGN was. He was super down for talking. She didn't know, but then she started hitting on me, complimenting my clothes nonstop. I'm not making this up. I swear to God, not making this up. Anyways, so I explained to him the fact, I said Greek tragedy, all that stuff, and then I needed to interview him, and they were like, oh, yeah, totally. So we spoke a little bit. Sounded something like this. Beyond, what's up, everybody? It's Greg. Still at the Final Fantasy XIII launch party, but I ran into some people. Hey, who are you?
I am Troy Baker. I play Snow Villiers in Final Fantasy XIII.
This is Allie Hillis, and I'm Lightning.
Troy and Allie, this party is crazy. What do you think?
These are the kind of moments where you're like, is this my life? Really? You got to kind of pinch yourself. Pinch? I said pinch.
The drinks are flowing. Don't worry. We'll say whatever we want. Don't worry about it. Allie, how much fun was it to work on this game?
Oh, my God. I had so much fun. I'm kind of new to the video game industry. Did Mass Effect, Liara to Sony.
See, I was going to say, you say you're new. You're in one of the other biggest games of the year.
But I'm so new. That was pretty much my first game. This was my second. So, I've been so lucky. I've met all the right people and been at the right places at the right times. And I had so much fun working on this game.
Troy, you're a big gamer, and you've been working for a while now. Does it piss you off to see one of these new up-and-comers just come in here, waltz into all the good games?
She's batting 1,000, man. I mean, literally, she's come out Mass Effect 2, now Final Fantasy XIII. So, I mean, what's funny is she's going to be up against herself for the two best games of the year at the end of the year. So, and yeah, I'm a diehard gamer. So somebody asked me, what's your dream job? I was like, dude, this is it, man.
Yeah.
To be able to be in literally the longest running RPG video game franchise ever was a dream come true. To be in Modern Warfare 2, that's a dream come true. Darksiders just came out, which was amazing. It which was the art of Joe Mad. So I mean, so far 2010 has been a pretty kick-ass year.
Troy, I assume you're going to play Final Fantasy XIII. Allie, are you going to play Final Fantasy XIII?
If Troy invites me to play it on that really big screen he's got.
How big's your screen?
I have a 52 and a 47, so we're going to alternate back and forth between the two.
There you go, everybody. That's what the ladies look for. Thank you, guys. Now, we are on Podcast Beyond. Before you go, I need a good Beyond from you. Beyond!
Beyond!
Sounds good. So, yeah, they were super cool. They understood what was happening. They understood me. They understood your pain, Ryan.
Then they were epic signatures indeed.
Yeah.
Truly epic.
How does one
and they were epic because Troy, the guy who plays Snow, just wrote Ryan ... you're diehard, and then just his name, because I was working so late into the night, and I appreciate that.
Tirelessly.
Okay.
I appreciate that he appreciated it.
Right.
Aww.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some trophy tips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got nothing? Just the tip? Nothing? No? Come on, Colin.
I'm
snap out of
sorry,
it.
dude. I'm just.
What guide are you working on? Why are you so tired?
Pokemon.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll
Also,
do it.
it was St. Patrick's Day yesterday.
Yeah.
Also known as Evacuation Day, if you live in Massachusetts. Yes, it's true.
Really?
I went to college in Boston. I lived there for 5 years. Everyone celebrates St. Patrick's Day and Evacuation Day on the same the same day. Evacuation Day is the day in 1777 when the British were kicked out of Boston. I think it's 1777. It might have even been earlier than that. So actually, state employees there and public school kids and stuff get a day off for evacuation.
That's
day.
cool.
Oh, so that just must be the biggest party day ever then.
Yeah.
Right? Are people just completely demolished on the street?
Pretty much.
Boston's real. I didn't
Irish.
thoroughly enjoy my time in Boston. It's very snowy and dark and stuff like that, in my opinion. But they take their American Revolution history very seriously there. So there are people. So you'll have people dress up in their green and stuff like that, but then you have people straight up dressed like colonial soldiers and stuff like that.
That's crazy. Well, and what's cool about that is that there's still cobblestone streets and really old buildings and stuff like that, which is something that we, growing up on the West Coast, in Seattle, never really get a little.
No, you can't understand what it's like. It is strange because I did grow up on Long Island, but I lived in New Hampshire and Maine too, and Massachusetts, and the houses are old. You find 300. What is it?
A picture of Tommy Tallarico just chilling on the wall there. That's amazing. It's stylized.
I never saw that. That must be new.
No, that's definitely new.
Walls are covered in things people tear out of magazines. We have the power profile of Tommy Tallarico over on the wall there. It's not even a photo of him.
It's some sort of like weird.
It's like a MS Paint.
I still like that one.
Yeah, the Charles Vigo. Yeah.
And of course, this disturbing.
Oh, I didn't realize
you
that was
tore that
Charles.
Yeah, I tore that one up. Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
so they're just old houses.
Yeah.
And basically, it's people live in 300-year-old houses or 200-year-old houses. Those don't even exist on the West Coast.
No,
so it's
states aren't even 300 years old.
Yeah. So it's interesting to live out there, or whatever. Yeah, they're crazy about it. So Evacuation Day is actually the day I celebrate on St. Patrick's Day, even though I'm Irish and my name's Colin Moriarty.
Look at you.
Which is quite Irish.
Adorable.
You don't have red hair though.
No, I don't have red hair.
Or like a delightful sprite-like personality.
Exuberance.
No, I think the Colin Moriarty aesthetic as it is actually more Italian for my mom than.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see
Italian.
Italian.
Spaghetti a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
You're always talking about sauces you want to work on.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up.
No, it's true.
All of that was real.
It's true. We really grew up with my mom's side of the family, and they're Italian. So
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a total tangent.
Ryan, how are the Final Fantasy XIII trophies? Any tips?
The tip is just to go through the game, and you'll actually get a couple. But that's one of those games where you'll have to devote a lot of time.
Other side of the coin, God of War.
Yes.
Easy. Come on now.
Yeah, you just
I got
pretty
44% when I try. That's just playing through the game.
Cool.
Though I will never beat the game on
Titan.
No, it's not Titan.
Oh, there's one after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No.
I tried it. I tried, and I could not get past the first boss fight.
Titan
Tore it in half.
mode.
Yep. So.
Ares.
Also, let me say, even though I've mentioned Mega Man 10 17 times already in the podcast, that you can get all. Everyone's really worried about those. Might be the hardest trophies to get. In
They
any game.
are, dude. You can the entire game without getting hit.
But I've done them all except for Mr. Perfect. I haven't done Mr. Perfect, but you can do them on easy mode. So,
okay.
And easy mode, unless you really have absolutely no experience whatsoever.
They cover the fans. They cover the things that would kill you.
Yeah, they cover chasms and spikes and stuff. Like everything does one hit point of damage to you. It's impossible to die. So if you really want to get those trophies, just do it on easy mode. It's totally fun.
I'm sorry. I just realized that basically the entire dialogue for the whole God of War franchise is just him screaming the various gods' names.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So I just thought of Ares, and then I realized he goes, Athena! And then I realized that at the beginning of God of War, Zeus!
Which is really weird.
Your son has come for you!
That line is the weakest one in the entire game, and it's the first thing he says.
Right.
It's just so, it just.
I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to put aside everything I had wrong with the Kratos character from God of War 1 and 2 and go right into God of War 3. And I could not, he only changes his tone slightly when he's trying to be sarcastic at one point when he's talking to that blacksmith. Thank you for all your help. What? That's the best you can do.
He gets a little softer later on in the game. Did you beat it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're driving.
I'm sorry.
You
Please,
go,
Ryan.
buddy.
Thank you. I was just curious. So does he, at the beginning of the game, does he just get his powers taken away again?
Of course, he gets smashed right.
That's how it works. All right.
It's done in very
I
cool
think the
fashion.
only time I ever liked Kratos' voice is when I was watching the ending of the original one because my roommate had just beaten it.
Yeah.
Recently, because he was replaying through them, and I peeked in, and he was doing this kind of soft monologue at the end of during the ending.
Well,
and I was
I'm so
His real voice is like this. He
on
just
the wing. No, but yeah, I thought
angry.
that was way more interesting than him just yelling.
Yeah.
Clemens!
You have conspired against me! All right.
Well, believe it or not, we've talked a lot here about the Final Fantasies and the God of Wars. 2 huge games came out very close, but that's not topic of the week.
Nope.
Topic of the week happens to be the GDC that just was.
The Giddick.
The
and
debut.
PlayStation Move.
The PlayStation Move. The motion controller has been renamed. We never seen it named.
Not even revealed.
I don't even know. It wasn't
and it
even
has
revealed.
a sub-controller.
Wow. Let's talk about that one for a second.
Worst peripheral name ever.
Can we just say really quick that I liked it when it was called the Arc, or we thought it was going to maybe called something like that. You could literally go to the dictionary and just find any word, and it would have been cool. It could have been the PlayStation eggplant. It would have been cooler than the Move. You know what I mean?
You could have gone to the dictionary and chosen any other word.
That would have been awesome.
It's just an awful
We call it the PlayStation Scrum-Trulescent.
Colin, us three, we were the foot soldiers. We were out there in the streets fighting in San Francisco watching this GDC stuff. You were back home. Did you watch the PlayStation press conference?
No, I didn't.
What did you take away from all this Move news?
It seems like you have Natal, and it seems like that's doing something different. Although I really don't think it's going to do well.
Yeah.
And then you have the Move, which is really just a Wiimote.
Yeah.
So
one of our board readers had the animated GIF he made. The headline on the blog was, "Oh fuck, it's happening again," and it was just flash back and forth between the press shots for the Move and the Wii and Nunchuck, and it was the exact same handhold. I was like, that's not helping anybody.
It's just I don't understand. I just don't understand what market they're going. I understand they want the casual market and stuff, but it seems like they actually have a pretty decent hold on a more hardcore market that they might want to cultivate a little bit more, as opposed to kind of spreading their resources around to something that's not really no one's going to care about. Who's going to pay $100 for that? You know what I mean?
No one.
Or $99 or whatever it's going to be. I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah, for the full.
Who cares about motion controls and stuff? I mean, even the games.
You know what though? I do. I genuinely do. If it's in a game that I actually want to play, and unfortunately right now.
What did you think of what they showed then?
I thought it was a really, really lackluster way to do it.
Okay, good.
You know what I mean? Like when it got really close to 1-to-1 and it was actually 3D. Did you play much of the table tennis one?
The who? Oh, table tennis? No, I didn't do it.
It's awesome.
Really?
Once you sort of get your head into the 3D space and you start kind of using it that way. I can't play ping pong at all.
Yeah.
I suck at it. I just don't have the coordination because I'm a big nerd. But they managed to scoot close enough to actual 1-to-1 in timing and stuff that it feels more advanced than what you'd get on the Wii.
Yeah.
But it also lets you do a lot of really cool stuff where you're actually doing like cross shots and like little cut-ins and stuff like that. I don't even know what they're called.
Crotch shots.
Crotch shots, yes. No. But I was able to like come over to the top of a ball and just and send it all the way to the other side of the thing with nobody instructing me, nobody doing anything. It just took 2 games.
Yeah.
And so it's awesome. That and the sword fighting thing were pretty decent.
Yeah.
And of course, Slider's awesome.
Slider,
which was not at the event. That was
Slider
later on.
Is interesting. I
Slider's
do like that.
crazy,
that's the
dude.
One I walked away from, and I was okay. This is.
Well, here's the thing. It controls like absolute.
Well, explain what it is.
Okay, Slider is let's see if I have this right. A Chinese businessman and his secretary are on the run throughout Japan, I believe, and in China from the Yakuza.
No, they call them the Mafia.
Oh, they're
but
just
the
the Mafia.
Americanized
Okay.
version. It's
Gotcha.
probably
And they escape by flying downhill through like various little side streets and stuff on all manner of
office chairs,
crazy, vacuum cleaners. It is the most amazingly Japanese thing ever.
Yeah.
And it controls poorly?
Right now it's not very fun because it swivels on a center axis of the actual controller itself. So you don't turn it right and left. You actually turn it kind of on the middle of the controller, which is really weird. I don't understand that at all. And so you get a lot of right angles in these city streets and stuff, and it's a little hard to kind of move around. But you gotta
whip it
sort
of to make them jump or whatever.
Yeah, it's really touchy. It's very early right now, but there's
they have
apparently
some good ideas. I like the limbo, like you hold down the Z.
Yes, you do like a layback move.
Button. I'm sorry, the T button trigger. You do that and they lay back and then they limbo underneath stuff.
Yeah.
The way I knew immediately, other than just looking at it, I mean that it was super Japanese, is that the girl. Obviously, she's dressed like Chung-Li almost.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
Her boobs and butt have physics.
Yes.
So she's like running, and her butt is like doing juggling thing. Like, oh man.
And of course, I love
There's a
game.
peephole in her shirt, so when she does the limbo, you can see right down.
Yep.
I was
It's
like,
awesome.
this game's interesting, but this is like sexploitation. I don't know.
Well, and their reactions when they first start the level are amazing because they're sort of like looking around and all of a sudden they're like, oh.
Yeah. There's
and
a
then
face,
they just see
there's like a face box.
So
So you're looking at their back the whole time, but up underneath their face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's time to go. Here's an office chair. I better roll on this thing all the way
roll down into a getaway van. That you get in and go away.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was ridiculous.
But when I was watching the press conference, Sliders wasn't shown there, or Slider wasn't shown there. I was like sick to my stomach. I was like, it was just like they showed game after game of stuff that looked like, knocking off the Wii or whatever. You know what I mean?
I heard a lot of it was just Wii
What
Sports.
I wrote later on is that they were singing to the worst of the Wii's level. You know what I mean? Of like, hey, you know what? The Wii hit, and it hit because it had motion, so we're doing that now too. And here's a bunch of games that look a little bit. I don't even think the games look that good. A lot of them don't look super
They are
HD.
also all pre-alpha. So.
True. No. True. Yeah.
But
I'm not.
I agree,
nobody's
like,
writing off the movie
from
saying it's garbage.
a contextual standpoint.
I am.
From or just even concept.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't have that sort of pop.
Well, like,
it's supposed to be in HD. It's supposed to have all this extra power. Obviously the PS3 can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of overhead with this thing because a lot of the processing is done on just one SPU by itself.
They had the Gladiator game, and that was the 1-for-1. You moved your hand, the sword. It was. I know. It was early for that one.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, so like when I play Motion Fighter, that's what it's gonna be.
Right.
And like the first thing I did when I got it, it's like, all right, sync the controllers or whatever. I do it, and then the first thing I did is I dropped my hands down to my side because I wanted to make a stance, and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, there's moves, and you got to do this, and
Now
like up, and it's like,
I can't believe it's all
man.
gesture based. If they keep doing so
really?
the gesture stuff is total poor Stooky.
Yeah.
If they do it like that, then it isn't. It is not at all different from the Wii, except for in fact, maybe a little bit more precision. The one-to-one stuff is where it's actually going to be able to differentiate, and that when it works is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's very fast and very responsive. And they didn't demo any of that stuff. They said precise like 9 million times during the press conference.
And when I was getting the Motion Fighter demo, they were taking shots at Wii Boxing. But every Motion Fighter demo I saw ended like Wii Boxing ends, where you are frantically just punching at nothing,
hoping that something catches up with.
Hoping I'm going to hit your face and knock you out. Like, oh. Ryan, you've been quiet. You were having vodkas and Red Bulls during this.
Yeah. So I was. Now let's clarify something real quick.
Lay it on the line.
Sure.
Greg basically thought I was just completely hammered during
I
the
did
press
not.
conference.
I did not.
You turned around and you were like, "You're wasted." And I was
I knew it
like,
would get
"No."
y'all agitated.
And you're like,
I had a drink or two before the press conference started. Now that's not really anything too huge for me, but it was just.
Except that the press conference started at 4:00, and I only mentioned that because I also had a drink before the press conference started.
I was preparing for a long
GDC
night.
is a marathon for your liver. It is amazing. I have never been somewhere where there's more open bars and more people trying to get you drunk.
Everybody goes out.
Everybody
goes out.
everybody goes.
What party are you going to? I'll do this.
Exactly.
But
a
anyway.
marathon.
Quick side note before we finish that. I got kicked in the face by a pole dancer at Activision. Go Ryan.
Well, I can't beat that.
But you.
I was just saying that the 2 drinks, just enough for me to love that press conference.
Yeah.
When I was like, PlayStation Move.
There were some genuinely cool concepts. The what is it? TV Superstars? Is that what it's called?
Superstars.
I actually really liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
I played it.
Oh no, Ryan's got.
Jesus. What the hell was that?
That was me convulsing.
Yeah.
I was not a big fan of it.
The one. Did you do the little slingshot one?
Yeah.
Oh, and still nothing.
No.
Oh, all right.
I did the balloon popping one. with a knife from popping balloons.
Oh, I never got to play it.
Yeah.
There was one where you pull back and you launch.
It was iToy games. It was like.
Yes, and that is exactly it. That is the problem.
It's not that I don't like the iToy, but I mean, it's still not in HD, and it still reverses the image, and it's still. It's like,
does it?
Yeah.
Is it still? I didn't play it on the iPad, so.
Yeah.
Here's my thing about the Move. I mean, just based on the Move's premise, like I'm concerned that Sony is splitting. Their focus too much. Like they had this last year. They had a good focus on hardcore gaming and moving the PS3 and showing you that we got some great first-party titles and
and right now, as of right now, they have the best games out there.
Oh yeah, like I mean, look at the first. That's what I was thinking during the conference. They were like, "This is what's coming for the rest of the year." And I'm like, "Wow." So you're saying that your first half of the year is what I cared about, and now I'm kind of coasting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure they'll have E3 stuff,
but I guess what I'm concerned about is just, when you think about the Wii and you think about the best games on the Wii, most of them try hard not to use motion controls, and they, or like Mario Galaxy uses it in a very cursory way. It's not even necessary. I think the new Metroid game, you play it like you hold it like an NES controller.
I mean, you do turn it to aim
for first
though.
person. For first person.
You do have a first person mode.
It's like I feel like I don't understand why Sony would want to go in this direction other than to just capture this elusive casual market that
See, and that's the thing.
And I honestly think that the casual market personally is gonna. I think you see it with the Wii. I think it's just gonna dry up. It's very ephemeral. Maybe they'll buy lots of units, they'll buy lots of Wiis, but they're not gonna buy software. You're gonna have to beg companies. Sony's gonna have to beg companies to make games that are for the Move. They want to use the controller.
They have like 35.
I think that's it. I think that's but their whole idea is basically, look, we're using the exact same tools. They use AI Live, the same stuff that the Wii uses, so they can literally just port up. And I think that the whole idea is that they want to jump in and take as much of that market as they can as easily as possible. So they want developers to be able to just basically make this exact same game, use high-res assets, and that's it. Boom, done. And then hopefully they can actually cultivate something that's kind of cool, because when you actually use it and you see how precise it really is, there's this in the back of my head. It was like, oh, dude, there's so many things you could do with this. This would be really cool.
Yeah.
No actual indication.
What did you think of SOCOM? Did you play SOCOM?
Yeah.
With it?
Well, the game doesn't run very well.
Yeah, it's
or
early.
It didn't. It runs like a SOCOM game, I guess.
Whoa!
So this is the biggest issue with the pointer controls and motion and everything. The better the game runs, the more precise it's going to feel.
Yeah.
If the game runs at under 30 frames a second, it's going to feel a little bit laggy, and that's kind of how it felt to me. It was fine. The precision was fine. It didn't you can make very subtle movements, and it keeps up with that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to play.
Exactly.
I don't
want to
play
asked me at the end of the demo. I was like, I mean, I'd never want to play a game this way. But you know what I mean?
The tech demos were actually really interesting. That was one of the things I was assigned to when I was going around and all their little stations.
Stuff?
Yeah, just the stuff they showed way back, like when it's an empty virtual room and you can cycle through a bunch of different items, like a flash. The flashlight was actually, I thought, really interesting because you could move it around the room in exactly 1-to-1, and it illuminates.
That's what I'm talking about.
Depending on direction and rotation and depth and all these different things.
3D, that is the big difference right there. Is that it is tracking it in complete space.
Yeah,
which is really cool. It does that in the game, and
very cool.
They have to do a proper demonstration of that, and there wasn't anything.
It's difficult for me to think of a game that I would want to actually sit down and play for 5-10 hours doing like augmented 3D reality.
That's exactly it. I want someone to make a game that sells me on it. I like the technology, I like all the potential that's there, and I want Kojima to come up with something, because if anybody could make it cool, he would do it. But that's why I want to get into this whole thing and get seriously invested in it, but I just don't. Nothing's really hooking me.
Did I tell you that my entire family and my girlfriend all agree that I totally took on your
I catch myself
I do that now, and I was doing it, I think it was over Christmas break. I was doing it all the time, and my girlfriend was like, you got that, because she listens to the podcast. She's like, you are totally just like Colin.
Yeah, I'm sorry to pass that along.
No, I think it's hysterical. I like it.
Yeah, it's very sarcastic or whatever. But yeah, I guess should just wrap this conversation up. I just think with the Wii, you do have really awesome sales with certain pieces of software, but that's one in how many games sells really well, and it's usually first-party stuff. I get concerned that they're going to start just releasing a lot of crap for the Move, and they're going to try to push it. They're going to be really aggressive about it, and everyone's going to be like, we don't really want this, And it might be cool once in a while, like the iToy or something like that. But it's not like the iToy is pushing PS2s and PS3s, and neither
Not
is
here.
in Europe
it
maybe
did really well. Yeah.
But I just want more traditional. I just want to play my games more traditionally with control.
I think E3 they'll have more of that for us. I think they'll say, "Here's the game for the hardcore fans." Or whatever.
I was making a crazy face at Sam. Sorry.
Ryan, wrap it up.
I was going to just ask the actual Move controller, not sub controller, Move controller. It doesn't have an analog stick, right?
Correct.
It's just those buttons.
Yeah. Correct.
That just kind of, if it had an analog stick, you could have the 2 analog stick setup.
Yeah.
Which then could, you could do a lot of different things with. So I'm sort of surprised.
Well, when they originally announced it, I was hoping that it would be part of the Break Apart controller that they showed. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Exactly. But no. So, yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, PS4 again.
PlayStation Move, transform and roll out.
So the short answer is we're all a little bit let down.
Yep.
Not super sold on it, but we want to see what happens.
Yeah, we need more time.
Excited about the potential, not so excited about what's there. But yeah, I think you're right. E3 is probably going to be where they actually show off the more hardcore stuff. This was just sort of to, I guess, get it out.
Baby.
Oh no.
Sorry. It just sounded like a R&B hit.
Read them out.
Reader mail. Wow,
right.
have we not gotten to reader mail yet?
No, yeah.
Oh my God.
We got to move this
we got
along.
a fat podcast.
That's right.
How much time?
It's meaty.
Well,
how much time
we've
we got
already
here?
recorded for 45 minutes.
Oh, we are giving them what they wanted. This is what you make us go off a week. This is what you're going to get. Colin Moriarty.
That's right.
It's fine enough.
All right, so here's a good one, Colin. I'm going to kick it to you right away.
All right, why not?
Espionage writes and says, Beyond. Does the Platinum Trophy count towards your total game percentage completion? Or is the Platinum Trophy just a symbol to show that you've finally finished X number of games?
No, it does not count towards your percentage at all. It counts towards your level. If you're level 13, 7%, it's going to increase that. But if you have, 90% of a game or whatever, and you get the Platinum Trophy or whatever, and it's not going to push it up. It means that there's maybe more DLC or something for you to get or whatever. Yeah. So it's basically just a symbol that you've gotten all the trophies.
It used to before they retweaked everything. It was that was like a massive experience boost, which is kind of cool. I like that whole idea.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Me too.
Yeah, it was disturbing when after the update or whatever, and then you went to look at your trophy list and everything was like
burnouts down to like 50% now.
So yeah, no.
Stephen O1683 says, Will GOW3 win GOTY? Will God of War 3 win Game of the Year?
Because it's got to go up against Bayonetta.
Yeah. I think it'll
game.
be included in there and among the nominees, but I don't know.
All right, well let's go PS3. Well, PS3 Game of the Year. Do you think it wins?
It's gonna be.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
It'll be in the mention.
Yeah. I think Heavy Rain right now. I mean, I haven't played God of War 3, but I can't imagine I'm gonna like it more than it.
It's 2 came out already.
Uncharted 2 was last year.
Okay,
yeah. It already won Game of the Year, if you remember. Last year.
If Resistance 3 sneaks into this year, we never know.
Well, and there's Last Guardian possibly. GT5 is going to come out.
Right.
So I know you guys. Now I'm probably me and Mark Ryan are the sole people who are
Ryan
looking forward.
Geddes.
That's right.
Ryan Geddes is
huge,
super pumped.
huge racer.
Yeah.
Huge racing fan.
But will it come out? Who knows?
Yes.
No. I was at that press conference. I've been hearing this song and dance for a long time, Sam Bishop.
This
is true.
It's the new Duke Nukem Forever.
It seriously is just like that entire series or that game is just screwing with all the people who love it.
To include GT5.
They're creating a great
brand new car.
They're creating people are going to be really let down if they keep pushing that game back because they're going to expect something really, really great, and it's probably going to be a great game, but not years of delays.
14 years, great.
Yeah.
All right, here comes a quick fire one from Pyromaniac. First 2 are going to be.
I like the little sort of
Clement and
joke
Sam.
you did there. Quick
You like
fire
that? You
by
like that? Thank you.
Pyromaniac.
Then it'll be me and Colin.
Okay.
So, Ryan and Sam, are you guys more excited for Blaze Blue or Super Street Fighter 4?
Blaze Blue.
Super Street Fighter 4.
Oh.
Ryan, Colin, you and me. Is it true that Killzone 3 will use the PlayStation Move?
Oh, God, I hope not.
That's my reaction. God, please, Jesus, no. I don't mind if it uses it. Just don't make it the mandatory.
Yeah,
I don't.
God,
That's
please.
Sonny was saying that they are not going to require that stuff. So as long as they adopt that approach,
Oh my
no
God.
one will buy it.
I do hope that they fix the. Did Mark Ryan show you the annoying thing in the last Killzone or whatever? Though, if you walk up to something, you're actually like at a person's waist. Like you're looking at
the perspective is really weird in that
He's
case.
like 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Seth, you need to take down the Hellgas.
He's a 7-year-old.
I was making.
I got a pew pew gun. He's gonna kill him.
I was making goofy PlayStation Move motions with my hands for all you listeners out there.
And then one final one from Pyromaniac for everyone in the room.
Okay.
Do you guys still remember the Titans? I say no.
No, not really.
No.
It was a movie. You know?
Yeah.
Once in
I
a
know. Might have
while,
been a
I
book.
remember.
I don't even know.
When it's on TBS.
All right, here comes. This is a serious one. A lot of joke ones.
Okay.
We're on point right now. This is from Beer Ham. He said, "Like to hear your opinion."
Sorry,
I'm serious. Outside of the name. Outside of the name. Serious question. I'd like to hear your opinions about people's perception of IGN as described in the Roper thread. When Roper announced that he had been laid off, a thread popped up on our boards, and then it turned into the first page. You know, it went quickly from people being like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you, Roper," to "Oh man, IGN's a bunch of jerks," to "IGN's awesome," to "IGN's jerk." You know, I mean, that usual debate you see.
Yeah.
Beer Ham points out the topics such as like the detest he says for IGN reviews, and the fact that many of the board's kids don't visit the site anymore. It hurts. You know what I mean? I love IGN. I love my job. I love what we do. I like to think that we are your friends in your basement. You know what I mean? This is the same kind of conversation I would have in my basement playing N64.
Except we don't live in your basement.
If you want to
come down to do laundry, Greg Miller's there waiting for you.
I do.
Like I think a lot of times the IGN.
Do you have any pickles?
IGN's a bunch of jerks, or IGN doesn't know what they're doing. Like that's such a broad brush. When you talk to all of us, we love games and we know what we're doing. You know what I mean? And so I wish that. Here's the other thing too. After being in journalism for so long, people only write in generally when they have something to say. They're pissed off about it. You know what I mean? You can write the best stuff in the world. 90% of what you get back is negative comment. And I want it. We all want it. We want to know how to make the site better, how to make Podcast Beyond better, how to make everything better. But I mean,
well, that's not
I think you're the minority. He said, I don't have it on here anymore, but he did say the people have spoken. Like they were, you know, IGN is the #1 video game site right now based on ComScore. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we are. I mean, people are speaking. They're coming here, and they do like what we're doing. And I mean,
I agree.
We're trying to come to you. We want the reviews to be the best they can.
Yeah,
give us constructive feedback, not just that we are all biased, and we will try to help it out. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing that I try to keep this in mind. You know, the internet's a pretty negative place, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, and anonymity.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I try to keep things as positive as I can, and I don't mind when people have a criticism of one of my guides or a review or something like that, but making it personal and saying really inappropriate things or whatever, you know, I don't really understand where that comes from. There are people, like real people on the other side, like reading your stuff, writing these things, putting themselves out there. You're getting a service. You go on a browser, you type in www.ign.com, you get to read a free website. It's like how many can you really have that many complaints about some people that are just, you know, trying to inform you about something or whatever? It's like, what are you really getting angry about? There are things. Go to the Politico or something and get angry about politics or something like that. These are video games. It's like, you know, I just don't understand where a lot of people come from with their like hyper negativity about everything that a website does. Any website, you see it everywhere, and it's just, you know, that to me is disconcerting because we really love what we do, you know, and we do know what we're talking about, or we wouldn't be working here. You know what I mean? So it's like just because someone's opinion doesn't line up with yours doesn't mean, you know, that they're wrong or they're dumb or this or that. You have to ask for them to be fired or something like that. That's a real person with real bills and children and this and that and the other thing. It's like, that's inappropriate, you know, and that's where I stand on it.
So keep that in mind, DG Knight 501.
Oh, is that one of your White Knight boys?
He's the guy
Final
that
Fantasy?
Does not care for me, but I love him.
Okay.
That's just
honestly, I hope this doesn't sound wrong, but I don't care. It's cool if you know, people want to offer constructive criticism. Awesome, and I would love to have, you know, someone say, hey, yes, this is factually incorrect. Please fix that.
Totally.
I am 100% okay with something being factually wrong and getting called on it, because that's if it's wrong, it's wrong. If like you were saying, if the opinions don't mesh and somehow that causes some sort of weird friction, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't actually write reviews for the people out there that are going to sit there and criticize everything. I just want to hopefully tell people what I thought about a game.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I feel too, and I feel like people need to understand that they get they get more bees with honey than with vinegar or whatever. Like I think we would totally love to interact with people on the boards, and I do when they they have a comment or a question, you know, or this and that. We get a bunch of email about guides, and if someone's like, your effing guide sucks and this and that and the other thing, it's like, well, okay, delete.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But if you're like, you know, this guide sucks because it didn't have this and this is an error, it's like, okay, I'm gonna fix that, and I'm gonna email you back, and I'm going to thank you for giving that information.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to make it the best we can.
Exactly. You know,
as long as
the ones who hate us, we love you.
Yeah, as long as you can present yourself in a fairly like even tone. when you're doing stuff. It's okay if you don't like it, but as long as you're actually proper about it. And
Can I do a 30-second thing? Is that
do
okay?
it, dude.
Yeah, you
All
wrap up
I
your
always
thread.
wanted to talk about this on the
happen.
podcast because I never got a chance. One of my favorite comments, because DG Knight 501 and I were having this epic thread on the White Knight Chronicles review because I just did not like that game. It has tons of problems.
5,
yeah,
so
we were
I'm
right
there with
there,
you,
right?
dude. Yep.
He loves this game, refuses to acknowledge any of the qualms I had with it. And you know, it's fine if you like it. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad you didn't waste your money.
Exactly.
But he was like, you clearly just do not know RPGs. And then I was like, if I don't know RPGs, then how would you explain my love and respect for games like Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger? I mean, I know the old stuff. I know the good stuff. And his response always made me laugh. He's like, love and respect does not equal knowledge. And I was like, they go hand in hand. If I need to know what it is in order to love and respect it. That was still my favorite response I've ever gotten. I'm sure he has that voice too. It's super deep.
Yeah. You're talking to James
Sorry,
Earl Jones.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Bozy Man says, will there be a Siphon Filter game for the PS3 announced at E3 this year? Yay, I'll be there. Sam, what do you think?
He'll be there? Yeah, actually I do.
No. I'll go on the record. No.
Okay.
I doubt it. I really do.
Maybe. I didn't even really hear the first part of the question.
Too busy thinking about this guy.
A siphon filter?
Siphon Filter game for E3. Or I'm sorry, for PS3 at E3. Will that be an announcement?
Meh.
That franchise gets no love, so
I know.
Yeah.
I don't think
sucks because the PSP ones are really good.
ones were so good.
Dude, the ones on PlayStation were awesome. I wish they would just. I love
number
those
one.
games.
Have you gone back and played them recently?
No.
Yeah.
Not since high school.
When that PlayStation Classic came out, for, what was it, the original Siphon
It
Filter
was
or 2?
I can't remember.
I was just trying to do like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, I can't control this game.
Yeah, the controls are very particular. I still miss the whole running with a load of crap in your pants animation, though. That is amazing. You just...
I just remember my brother.
Sam's reenacting it. Sorry, we're not on a video podcast.
Just remember my brother and I really loved those.
The PSP ones were great, but they
games,
didn't sell well. So I doubt that they would then take the franchise now to the PS3 and hope for something else.
Well, I mean, you don't think so?
No.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, Bend hasn't worked on anything since Retribution.
Yeah,
Since
that's
Retribution.
true.
And they have PS3 dev kits, of course. They're part of the whole Sony family.
Yeah.
They're working on something.
I hope so. I like that franchise. The PSP ones end in a very interesting way. I would like to see after the credits, you get a cutscene. I'd love to see what happens after that.
Yep.
So. We'll see. Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
Farziness asks,
Hey
Kratos versus Nathan Drake, who wins?
Oh, well, I mean, it depends on the context. Does Nathan have some sort of bullets that's imbued with the power of ancient gods?
He has a resin claw.
The hell does that mean?
He has a very old vase.
Unfortunately,
the Ming Dynasty.
I think in a match of raw power, obviously Kratos, but I would like to think that Nathan Drake could outsmart him.
You'd hope.
I would only hope.
I would imagine this is after 8 hours or so of Unchartedness. He's got some relic that will take the ash off his skin.
Exactly.
Make him human
again. And he's
drown
just
him
like,
in a bathtub. That's how I want to see Kratos in. I'm sorry. All right. Anybody else want to chime in? We're fine with that.
The gods have abandoned me.
Hey, Colin.
Yo.
Wardog1368 says, what are the chances of Kevin Butler hosting Sony's E3 presentation? That would be the most.
That would be awesome. I doubt it's gonna happen, but that would be really.
That'd be a great
really
intro
cool.
movie.
It would be the culmination of that entire ad campaigin and Sony kind of figuring things out.
Yeah.
That
thing's hitting well. Everybody likes
yeah,
he's really
seriously.
Cool.
Did you see the move thing that
I haven't seen the move.
It's
he's
awesome.
in the future or something.
Yes, exactly.
He makes fun of the Wii and stuff.
Totally takes digs at the Wii and Atol and stuff like that.
Interesting side note here.
Very playful.
At GDC, another overheard that I didn't chime in on because I didn't know these people. They were talking about how they think the recent runs, the Uncharted 2 and God of War ones, are a bit sexist. They're ragging on girlfriends for not being stupid. Uncharted 2 on PlayStation. My girlfriend's been watching me play Uncharted 2, and she doesn't know it. She thinks it's a movie. I've been playing for 3 days.
Whatever, dude. They're catering to their
that is
audience.
exactly it. The demographic is going to be
break.
Even the God of War one. Sexism in and out is funny.
That is a valid complaint, I think.
I'm still going to say that my favorite one is when he's trying to give the guy interview advice. Did you see that one?
Oh, the MAG one.
Yeah, what was it, the MAG one?
Yeah.
And he's like, senior vice president of, I don't know, community
First-person shooter.
First-person, shooter relations or something. And he's like, and so what's your title? And the guy names his title. And he, like, looks out the window, and he sees the guy, like, shaking hands. And he's like, son of a...
that was awesome.
So
he's got,
good.
like, they fill his commercials with these
blinds.
little tiny things that are awesome. Like, there's usually a frame picture of Jack Tretton.
Yeah. That nobody would get.
Exactly. You have to see it a couple times. But that one, in that one, he's drinking a coffee mug that just says VP of First-Person Shooter Relations, I think. And little touches like that are awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
They have gold there for sure.
Yeah.
This is an easy one.
Okay.
Why isn't Okami on the PSN yet?
Because it's a PS2 game.
There you go. Thanks, War Dog, for that question.
I would love to see PS2 games on the PSN.
Speaking of games you'd like to see on the PS3 or PSN for that matter, Evan wants to know. Well, first he says Beyond. He says he's been listening since episode 105 and been working his way up and down. So, it's all out of the order. Jeremy Dunham's giving him advice. Nobody else is having it. His question is, what 360 games would you like to see announced for the PS3?
I guess Alan Wake would probably be pretty cool.
Right now, I'd love Splinter Cell Conviction.
Oh yeah,
I've been playing that on a test unit. That thing's fun, dude.
Guys, you guys are missing the obvious answer.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, of course.
Mass Effect.
Oh, that's coming.
I hope so.
It absolutely 100% is coming.
But
think so?
Yeah. Do you think it'll be all packed in at 3, or do you think it's going to be...
I think it'll be released before 3, but it'll be both games on one.
I hope you are right, my friend.
Enthusiastic
I'm
hope.
fairly.
If only Mass Effect could come to PS3.
That's very funny. Yeah, those games are so good. We are sorely missing those games in the library.
This one is not excited for that game.
Just imagine this whole thing.
I love the Hanar are my favorite part of that freaking franchise.
In Mass Effect 2, you don't talk to one Hanar, man. Like,
but I hear that there is an awesome tribute to the Hanar in an audio recording.
Yeah, like
I don't know if I should spoil it or not, but it's supposed to be hysterical.
Are you talking about like the Hanar Anti-Defamation League?
No, I'm talking about it's a fake movie trailer.
Oh,
awesome! Should I just say it?
Yeah.
They play an audio recording of a fake movie trailer where it's the movie is about the first Hanar Spectre. so it's basically like, and I guess I was talking to Arthur about this, and he basically at one point in the trailer, it's like this one does not have time for your solid waste excretions. Just awesome! I have to hear that. I'm so excited for that.
We're getting short on time, correct?
We're
still running.
Well, yeah, but we need some time. Well, we'll wrap it up in 15 minutes or less.
Oh, well, we're gonna do less then. But here's one for you from Phil. Why is linearity? A bad thing in video games. People are saying it's a fault of Final Fantasy XIII, but I think it's great.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it's not a huge problem of mine, because I just did not want to bother exploring that much because I wanted to get through that game. Yeah. So for some people it's not going to be a problem, but for other people they like freedom in video games, and that's why. So I think that the problem in quotes of linearity is a personal preference.
I also think it has to do with the game you're playing and the genre you're playing.
Absolutely.
And also
100%.
contextualize it within time, because I mean, people are like, like Dragon Quest or whatever, the very first one, you could walk around a world map and stuff like that, cross bridges and go to different towns, but you still had to do things in a very specific sequence. So it's really basically just a false way of exploring. Yeah, exactly.
It's a veil of linearity.
Smoke screen.
Or of freedom.
And I personally have a problem with newer RPGs having this linear feel, whatever. I played Final Fantasy XIII for an hour last night. I'm not really
feeling it.
I haven't gotten anywhere.
Keep in mind that that game takes a long time to get going.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
You're only a 50th of the way through the game.
Yeah, I'm not ready to make an opinion on it yet or whatever.
Like
but I
a
just
60th.
The fact that it takes about 30 hours before you actually have full control over everything is kind of a good indication of how much they're trying to control. They have the reins on the player. So
it's a little weird or whatever. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with linearity in like a shooter or something like that. So I mean,
An easy one here before the sweet one. Clark says, "You guys rock." Thanks, Clark.
Thank you.
But seriously, where's the Lunar Silver Star Harmony review?
Oh, that's going up soon. Right?
Exactly. Dave Clayman cranking that out today. By the time this, sometime today on Friday, whenever you listen to this, it'll be up on psp.ign.com.
And keep in mind, this guy has a lot of other more important jobs to do than do
Dave
reviews
Clayman,
for us.
a very, very big PSP fanboy.
Yes, he is. He loves that system.
And he loves Lunar too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good.
So you should be looking for that.
Expect a fairly positive review.
Lunar. That game looks really good.
I loved it on PlayStation.
I mean, like pretty. Nice.
Pretty.
Very pretty.
Our final one here comes from Rachel Wallace. She says, "Hi guys, can you,
Hi,
pretty
Rachel.
please, give my hubby, Nick Wallace, a birthday shout-out? He is 29 on March 24th. Nick loves video games, but doesn't have much time for them, working full-time, and he's going back to school. He loves the IGN podcast because he can get his gaming fix even on boring work days. A shout-out would really make his day and make me the best wife ever.
Birthday beyond.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy
Yay,
birthday,
Nick Wallace.
Nick
Yaku
Wallace.
wife, it's
Hey,
birthday.
So here's a little problem that you just enlightened for me. It's totally fine.
I'm upset. Something's wrong.
I thought I printed out the same thing because for some reason I thought it was also a hit of the week request.
Oh, no.
So we're
There's
gonna
no
have
name
to.
there.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do a hit of the week on the guy who gave us our song today. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
So
All right, so yeah.
What else we got?
PSN
Do we have
hit
anything
is
else?
what we're up to.
we didn't have any tournament winners this week. I didn't
man.
get any messages.
Community board's
so
got to play.
if I guess I don't know what happened to them. Go onto the boards and look for the tournaments.
There you go. That's what you're
Show
looking for.
me their
everybody.
mini
tournaments.
tournaments.
Look for them tournaments.
My
On the
tournaments.
community
Let
board,
me
correct?
show you
of
them.
course, if you want to write into us and get a question,
Uh-huh.
beyond at IGN.com, we're also bringing back the message board things. A reader
Yes.
popped in on the community. I've been doing I like the insider board. We got a lot of comments on
yes.
that one. We did get some of the general. I'll do both for a while. I'm doing them just on the PS3 boards. A reader popped in and asked me, "Hey, why are you guys afraid of the PSP board?" I'll have you know, I check the PSP board quite a bit. But when we used to put up Podcast Beyond questions there, they didn't get that much traffic.
Yes.
So now just click over to the PS3. There it is. Or email us at beyond@ign.com.
Huh? You can find all of us on Facebook.
Yeah.
I
Facebook,
believe.
yeah.
I think we're all open to having readers as friends.
I
if you
love
want
it.
to
I
follow
added
us on
500
there.
during a PS3. I had a GDC panel about PS3 3D. When like 2 minutes in, they started talking about stuff I had no idea what was happening. I was like, oh.
That is why I love GDC though, because it is
hit or miss, man. What panel are you gonna get? Something that you will totally be cool with, or something that will be about cones and rods? And
Which I'm totally happy with. I love that it's completely over my head. It's not for me. So if I can just
Also,
sit there and enjoy it.
Speaking of Facebook, IGN does have an official Facebook page, IGN.com.
yeah,
Yep.
we have official
Join it up.
Twitter page too. You can go there, IGN.com, no dot.
No
No
dot
dot.
that time. Keep that in mind.
Like you said, we're all on Facebook. / Game Over Greggy. You're what /
Forward slash.
Here we go. I forgot
I'm
Sam
gonna do
was
it.
here.
That's right.
Oh my god.
on the Facebooks,
Yeah.
/7 Winters.
There you go.
Spelled out 7. Keep that in mind.
Game Over Greggy
Yeah.
on the PSN. I don't have any friend spots. Please stop. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's
I want to say too, Moriarty-IGN on PSN or whatever. I'm usually really good about answering messages that people send me to, so I'm apologizing if anyone who's listening has sent me a message. I haven't really been on in the last few weeks.
Because of Mega Man?
Yeah, Mega Man 10. Basically, I just don't have time for anything else.
Pokemons.
And now Pokemon.
Hey, have you
Pokemons.
shown them to me, your Pokemon?
No, I'll show them to you. Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, remember to rate us on iTunes if you haven't. And if you're on iTunes, hey, why don't you come on over to IGN.com and say something? Check us out there. Why not? If you want to leave a goodbye message for Roper, do it on the Podcast Beyond number 129 article. We have a comment field right there.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Show
Do
him
it.
some love.
All right, so Ryan, lead us out of this one here. We got
Here
some songs.
we
We got a hit of
go.
the week.
Yes.
Let's do it.
It's going to be a double hit. Well, no, it's not a double hit. It's double hit / song. Hey, guys. That's what he's saying.
Oh.
Anton here.
Hi.
Not the scary. Is that the scary dude's name from No Country for Old Men, by the way? With
I saw
the
that a long time
antagonist?
ago. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
anyway, I
Anton.
thought his name was Anton. Maybe that's the actor's name. Anton here.
No, what's his-
Just wondering if I could be
his
made
name's
PSN
Javier.
hit of the week sometime. I was also hoping maybe you could play this song on the show one day, and this is one day because he sent this like 2 weeks ago. Because I worked hard on ripping off generic JRPG music into a silly little melody. I made the song on a stupid MIDI program, so I apologize that the volume is low. I am a musician, not a sound engineer. Totally fine. I liked the song because obviously we were talking about Final Fantasy, big JRPG fans in the room, as in maybe 2 to 3 of us out of the 4. I don't even know. Do you consider yourself a JRPG fan anymore? Not really.
Not really
right?
anymore,
All right,
no.
yeah.
Is it Uematsu-ish? Uematsu-esque?
It's nice.
All these
I liked it.
arpeggios.
It's actually quite long, so prepare to be serenaded for a while.
All right.
Anton, thank you very much for sending it in. Anton's PSN name, because we're giving him the hit, is Scranton. Scranton. SCRAWNTON.
PSN it confirmed.
It's weird that I'm just doing the whole thing. But anyway, thank you for the song. That's it for
Thanks,
today.
dude.
Greg, do you want to take us out with any final words of encouragement?
No, we're good.
Beyond 129.